A flight attendant took off her high heels and stirred a passenger's coffee repeatedly with the heel. She then brought the coffee to the passenger, but unexpectedly, the woman had already become suspicious. The woman raised her hand and knocked over the coffee, instantly scalding Annie's arm. Seeing the woman's arrogant expression, Annie dared not speak because the woman had a noble identity. She was the Princess of Thailand. However, Annie was no ordinary person either. Not long ago, Annie had been in a relationship with the Prince of Thailand. It was clear that the princess was on this flight to confront Annie. The princess specifically requested Annie's service, and when Annie asked what service she needed, she suddenly noticed a ring on the princess's hand. Annie hurriedly tried to hide the ring on her own hand, as she had an identical ring to the princess's. However, the princess still noticed this moment. She demanded that Annie take off her ring to look at it. Annie did not dare to disobey and had to remove the ring, but the princess directly threw it on the ground. Just as Annie was about to pick it up, the princess stepped on the ring with her golden high heels. Back in the break room, the more Annie thought about it, the angrier she became. She decided to teach this arrogant princess a lesson. Knowing that the princess was allergic to seafood, Annie deliberately prepared a seafood noodle dish and secretly picked out the shrimp, pretending it was a bowl of ordinary noodles, and served it to the princess. The princess didn't think much of it, picked up her knife and fork, and started eating. However, after a while, the princess began to cough violently, and then ran towards the restroom, covering her mouth. At this moment, Annie noticed the photos on the side of the table, which were all pictures of her dating the prince. Annie was so frightened that she broke out in a cold sweat. It turned out that the princess had known everything all along. Just as she was about to get up and leave, she ran into the princess's terrifying gaze. In the princess's eyes, Annie was already a dead person.